Hello, welcome to another episode of Know
Know
Your
your
Guide.
guide.
My name is Stefan,
My
and
name
this
is
is
Diana.
Diana. Welcome. Today we
Welcome.
are going to meet with another tour guide, all the way from where, Diana?
Manila,
From Manila,
Philippines.
Philippines.
Yay! We have Jason with us. Hi, Jason.
Hello guys. I'm
Hello. How to say hi in your language?
Actually there's a different term, but we always say kamusta. It's how are you?
Kamusta?
Kumusta?
Kamusta.
Kamusta?
And
Kumusta?
if you're okay, you would reply mabuti.
Maputi.
Mabuti. Hmm.
Maputi.
Okay.
All right, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. We would love to, get to know you more and also play a few games at the end. Maybe for a start, Jason, Diana knows you, but this is the first time we are meeting, so I would
Yeah.
really like to give you a chance to introduce yourself.
Mm.
So go ahead.
Okay. My name is Jason. Actually currently staying in Philippines now, and I'm 31 years old, and actually live at the capital of Philippines, which is Manila itself. And I'm actually had an experience of more than a decade of tour hosting and tour guiding, and I love to meet people. That's why I'm here.
More than a decade. So you started when you were 19.
Yes, I
Wow,
was
And
like
that's when I know him when he was 19. I see
wow.
him from young boy to a successful man, now married with kids. Amazing,
Wow.
right, Stefan? I
Yes,
see
it
people
is.
growing up. You see all the our guys, like I see them from young until they
Yes. So now I'm
become.
the young boy lah. So 10 years later, I will say.
Yeah. You are still young.
No, I'm
You
actually
say
older.
so. You
I'm
say
older than
so.
Jason. Jason, tell me why tour guide? Why do you want to be a tour guide? What were your motivations or inspirations behind it?
at first when I went to Singapore. Actually, I was working in Singapore before, and when I started in Singapore, I was actually part of a company that actually deals with tour hosting. So it's actually part of my job. Before, it's actually just routine. So it's for me, you have to be obliged to actually do it. And before, there's no passion at it. Through time, it actually gives you the hunger to actually please the kids, not to please the kids, but actually to teach the kids. So my main motivation is actually give an impact on how you educate children differently,
Mm,
because when we do online and actual tour hosting is actually very different. And on online tour hosting, you have to be actually be more engaging compared
mm,
to be on actual one, that they can see the actual things that you do.
mm,
uh,
mm,
my main motivation is actually to see the people smile. So I know when they smile, they're actually enjoying, and they're actually learning from the things that I'm actually telling them, especially kids. I'm actually
mm,
more fond of teaching kids, especially now when I have a son now. My son is actually benefiting on my hunger to actually teach children. So yeah.
wow. So you actually do more educational tours with kids and teenagers?
Yes. Actually, mostly from, I think, from ranging from N1s, N2, K1, K2 until primary. The eldest students I've taught is actually until primary 3, primary 4. Yeah.
Also, they are all very young. So
Yes.
you love to teach and love to share and have
Yes.
fun with kids.
And yes, actually mostly kids. But there are times that I have to guide and host some adults. Uh,
Mm.
Mostly prime ministers before, if I remember, and some
Whoa.
prince and princesses of some country that I have forgotten already. But
Mm,
it's very fun to actually play with some tricks when you actually see the adults, especially. when you see those expressions, the wow factor when you say something that they have not learned before, so it
Yeah.
actually gives you the energy to actually push through to continue
Mm.
this thing.
So with the kids, you just do your thing. With the adults, you bring the inner kid out
Yes,
in them.
yes, yes. So there's always
So
a
where do you tour? Where do you tour usually?
when I do tours, I've experienced hosting on tunnels. Diana would know that the tunnel of Labrador Park, and we've been hosting some nature reserves as well. Mostly in Sentosa. We're actually hosting in Sentosa, Singapore.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
it's in
So you know
Singapore.
about I heard that Sentosa there's a lot of like secret stuff there,
A lot.
secret corners that the general public don't reach, but there's a lot of gems.
I would say there is. If I close my eyes, I can still remember where's the places. So it's when
Whoa.
when I do fall asleep, if I would remember my experience in Singapore, I would still close my eyes and see which bus should I take to be here at this point. So something like that.
Mm-mm. I
Yeah.
heard from a lot of people that there are some secret sculptures somewhere, some interesting bits of history and scattered
Yeah, not only
all
that, but
along
also
Sentosa.
habitats like birds,
Mm,
and butterfly or even insects, right, Jason?
yes.
Yeah,
Um, Mostly those gems that you're mentioning, Stefan, is actually in corners where you wouldn't want to be alone. So it's like I would say it's a bit scary for a tourist to actually go alone. So it's better that you be there in with groups because some areas are actually very dark and some
Mm.
areas are forested and you might see something that you don't want to see.
Yeah, I've never seen anything before. I really like to like experience one day.
The worst case there's
are you sure?
Yeah, I go around scaring people with my tricks and all that, but like I would really like a supernatural experience.
Don't attract the wrong thing.
we have the same interests, but not fully those supernatural ones. But I love to watch those documentaries.
Yeah,
Shows.
that I mean, it's out of the ordinary. It's a little bit more interesting, and in the Chinese, they say that my yang is too strong, so I cannot see any.
Or maybe me too. I also yang too strong, even
Yeah.
though I'm a girl, but I'm a yang.
Oh, that's a very good balance then.
Yeah. I think it's a good balance. I don't know why.
And what about Jason? Have you had any interesting experiences before?
Quite a lot, but I would just shrug it away. But yeah, there are times I would always experience stuffs, but yeah, it's for me it's back to reality.
Mm.
So
I
this
heard that you. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, so this kind of experiences I wouldn't want to share with, especially those who don't want to actually experience this. So I would just try to keep it to myself.
Yeah. So what I heard that you had interesting hobby.
Yes, I have. Since I was a kid, long before I went to Singapore, before I'm actually fond of handling small insects and animals. And it develops when I actually went to Singapore to be a host because one of our job is to actually teach them the difference in and outs of some of these creepy crawlies, I would say. So not only creepy crawlies but some animals as well.
Mm.
So my hobby is actually to take care and fun of handling insects and animals that is very unnaturally been touched by a human being, especially those poisonous ones and non-poisonous ones.
What about them? What about them intrigues you?
Actually, their anatomy. I'm morely intrigued on how they eat and how they go on to their lives, how they able to survive even at dusk or at nighttime. And yeah, it's actually way different from how human beings and other mammals actually feed on. And plus, it's actually small. Small things are very easily to handle, but not fast ones. Yeah.
Insects are extremely durable, isn't it? They can survive in very harsh conditions, and they can also break off certain limbs and still stay certain parts of their body and still stay alive.
Yes. One of those are probably spiders. They can live without two legs. They can even survive with just six legs, but they cannot survive without their abdomens. So some interesting facts about these spiders. That some of them you might be afraid of, but actually learning from them, you would want to take care also. But it depends on some people. So it's actually based on the interests. If your interest is actually not on crawling things, those creepy crawlies, I wouldn't suggest to actually advise to take care of these animals. But these insects, these creepy crawlies are actually, it gives me the like a relief. After a day end, you will see them, you're gonna feed them, you're gonna see how they look. So it's like you're taking care of another baby, but these babies are way smaller than your own ones. Yeah.
So what are the insects that you have had as pets before?
Okay, from the mild ones, I have taken care of some cockroaches, those hissing cockroaches, not those domestic cockroaches that you will see on
Ew, cockroach.
this cockroach.
My biggest enemy. Don't let me see cockroach. I'll run away, I will jump, I'll scream. I don't know. Just not me when I see cockroach. Even a small one, I tell you. Stefan.
So now we know.
Don't play the trick on me, please. Oh
No, the
no.
fake ones, you just buy it from online shops. You just put it somewhere on Diana's table. You can see her reaction afterwards.
Yeah, cockroaches are it's definitely one of the most durable ones. The most being able to survive heat, cold,
They're,
scorching.
they're considered a prehistoric creepy crawly. So they have lived for more than 120 million years.
120 million.
There's been cockroaches
What?
before
120 million?
So
yes,
so
which means they are actually almost first than human beings. Actually, definitely first than human beings, because cockroaches can live on crevices. They can survive on certain harsh temperature. So they actually evolved. Some of them, the prehistoric cockroaches, are this big, so this huge. So through time, they actually shrunk into a very small creatures because they need to adjust on the temperature.
wow, so interesting. So cockroaches could be actually more intelligent than us.
In a way of surviving, probably yes. Because in the rule of the nature, the survival of the fittest is actually there. So survival of the smartest can be. If you know how to survive, you're gonna live long.
So is that something that you do as insurance so that if they take over the world, you will still be their friends?
In a way, I hope so. They can actually smell some of insects in me when they actually took over the world.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, Jason, that guy, I know him. He took care of my great grandson very well."
I hope so.
You want to show us your pet?
Okay, let me just start first with that cockroach that I was mentioning. So there are actually a lot of animals that I have now. There's more that I want to have, but there's some space restrictions on my side, and I don't want my son to, you know,
Yeah.
have a nip and have a hold of these animals, which is very dangerous for him. Let me just show you first the safest ones, I would say. The safe ones that I had here is a hissing cockroach. This cockroach is actually the safest. And I have a bunch of them. So let, let me introduce to you the family of hissing cockroach. on my end. So by the way, hissing cockroach is actually
Cockroach.
one of the cleanest insects that you would ever see.
Huh? Cleaners?
Cleanest insects. They are.
Huh?
Hear the hissing.
Oh,
Hear the hissing.
cleaners. Why? Aiyah.
Oh wow.
Oh no, I cannot imagine crawling me on me. Oh
So-
my god. But then, okay,
So-
you see over Zoom, I don't need to see them live. That's the perfect.
This hissing cockroach is how young or how old?
Okay, cockroaches can actually live about 6 months to a year. It depends on the gender. For hissing cockroach, there's actually two genders. This is actually female. Female has a longer body, and you would see on the head. I don't know whether you can see it on the head. Can you see here? There is actually. Oh, it fell down. Okay, there is actually a lump here. If this lump is actually thicker and higher, it can actually be a male. Currently, this is a female because it's almost flat.
Mm.
So if you look into the underbody of the insect, it's similar to a normal cockroach. But
Mm.
difference from other cockroach, this one does not have any wings and they don't actually fly. And this one, when they are threatened, they will make a hissing sound. But for this one, it's actually well comfortable on the hand. So if you just try to touching them, backstroke them from the head to the abdomen, they will feel comfortable.
Stefan,
A massage.
strolling like strolling a cat or a dog kind, and it's strolling a cockroach.
Yeah.
Did you say that they'll make sounds?
Sorry.
You say that they'll make sounds?
Yes, they actually make a hissing sound.
Hissing sounds.
Yeah.
Hissing sound similar to initial sound of a snake when they hiss, especially for some cobras. So something like that. So hissing is actually another way to deter some of their predators. So if they make the hissing sound and these mammals that would like to eat them hear this, these animals might think, oh, there's a cobra, there's a snake around. So I have to go off. So this is another way of deterrence to other animals. So
What do you feed them?
oh, they're very easy to feed. It's like feeding a normal baby. So you know Quaker oats,
Yep.
like Quaker oats.
So healthy.
They like they like to eat dry food like bread. Occasionally, I will feed them with cucumber and carrots. But
Oh.
at the time,
Oh,
70% of their food is mostly oats.
so they are
Mostly oats.
vegan.
Yes, that's why when they actually defecate, their poop is actually dry. So there's no smell, but the smell is actually will come on the container itself because of the food that you give them. But they
Oh,
considered clean.
so they are the cleanest insect.
Yes. And when they actually lay eggs, right? The eggs is actually like a seed of a watermelon, but smaller.
Seed of a watermelon.
Do you worry that they will go out of control? Like, do they need birth control?
Good question.
My another way of controlling their population on my side is I always take those nymph stage. There's actually 3 stages: so the egg, the nymph, and the adult. The nymph stage I would always control and take them, and they actually become a feeder to my other insects as well. So too harsh for me, but
Oh no!
yeah, it's another way to control because cockroaches are considered food of other animals. So
Oh wow. Okay.
some cases you would see them being eaten by scorpions, tarantulas. They can be eaten by lizards as well. So it's another way to control them because once the cockroaches lays eggs, it can lay about 50 to 100, and once it
That's
hatches,
a lot. That's a lot.
when they hatch out,
OMG.
uh,
50 to 100. So Jason, how many you have at home now?
With care, I actually have 10 pairs. So I have 20 of the adults. Now they have laid eggs, and I've seen babies.
Oh,
I have
no.
not counted the babies crawling on the container. So I think I'm more on the 50 already. 50.
50 cockroaches
Do,
inside your house.
do you give them names?
No, no, no.
You know what I'll
Hello,
totally
Shepard.
do? I'll
You
give
give
them
name-
names.
You give them name, then he also cannot recognize them.
I will. You know what I'll do? I will give them names. Then I'll like use marker pen
You
to draw
label
their
them, is
Ah,
it?
it's a
yeah
good idea.
number one
Good idea.
or
I
Sally.
think I ask if there's already,
Shepard, you're so
those
funny.
monitors with collars.
That would be so interesting if I have like
I would like to try that. Let's see whether I can cope up on.
I have so many ideas right now. Like one of them is I'll raise them. I'll raise the cockroaches. Like I will create a small cardboard track and I say go go go.
You're so funny.
Then we'll do it live stream and then we get people to say, hey, who will win?
People use cricket, and you use this You use a cockroach. Jason, ignore him.
What's another one?
Okay, the other insects you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for meeting one of the hissing cockroach. The other animal that I have, or the insects that I have, is I'm more fun because I'm a Scorpio. I was born on November, so I'm a Scorpio guy. So I like to take care of scorpions as well.
Hmm.
So the biggest scorpions that I have taken care of is actually almost the size of my palm. But currently, I'm starting to take care of these juvenile scorpions that can reach up to the size of my hand as well.
Oh,
It can actually live for about 10 to 15 years. So currently, they are on the first year based on the time that I took them. Okay, can you all see it on the screen? Okay, let me just show you something interesting. Can you see this?
Oh, what's that?
Okay, this is actually a shed of skin of a scorpion.
Oh,
Can you see the tail? The
Jason,
still
Yes,
maybe you
the
can
shape of
use
the-
you use your hand to go below. Yes,
Wow.
yes, that's the yes. I think clearer now.
Okay. So this is actually the tail itself.
So they're like snakes. They shed skin once in a while.
Yes, they actually once they are on a juvenile stage, they would shed at least 10 times in a month.
Wow, that's a lot.
10 times in a month.
Once they actually grow on a certain size, about 2 inch to 3 inch, they will stop shedding. Okay,
And what do you do with the skin?
when it's actually nicely preserved, right, I'll just put it aside because this is actually gives them the protein. In a way, they will try to play with it and eat this once in a while because this contains more of calcium for them. So can you
Mm.
see the scorpion, the first scorpion?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Jason, just now you mentioned 10 times a month, means 3 times a day.
For this, occasionally depends on the weather. When it's cool, right, they will actually shed. So currently, the other two have shed yesterday. See the
They're
bit,
not cold. They take off like that. 3 times a day, they're not cold.
the legs. The legs can even shed.
It's so shiny. It's like a armored tank.
Yes. Okay. This is more interesting. You see this? I want to show you this. Actually, been like plastered here. It's like a crab. Can you see this?
Oh, pincer.
The pincer.
Oh my God.
Small
Wow.
things are the ones that interest me a lot. So how they are able to actually remove this from the body just to shed. So from the outer layer of their skin, there's already another layer that is developing to be hard. So
Mm.
in a way, they are just waiting to the right time to shed this. So
And these are poisonous.
yes, you would always treat that scorpions are poisonous. I would always want to share this to my students and teachers. scorpions are not easily to be handled, and you always consider that each scorpion that you will see is a poisonous one. A scorpion can kill a human being, and it's not a joke because in Philippines there's a lot of poisonous scorpions. So this scorpion is a black forest scorpion. Scorpions that are non-lethal, but it can give you a very good sting, which means fever, mostly 3 days of fever. Probably if you got sting, you might think of on this pandemic era now, they would think that you had a COVID because you're gonna have a fever for a few days. Then after that, you're gonna have diarrhea also. So these kinds of symptoms will actually take effect on your body. Scorpions are very agile scorpions, especially for the juvenile. See this juvenile? I just have a
They're all hiding in the hole now.
heading on the.
They don't want to come out.
This is the largest.
Coming out.
This is the largest. It's about when from tip of the pincer to the tail. It's actually about 3 inch now, 3.5 inch. When I
Oh.
took care of this little fella here, it's actually about 2 inch only. So I've been constantly feeding them daily. So they have been mainly fed, and the scale of this scorpion is actually lighter black, so which means it's just shed. So this guy. And scorpions feed on small insects, like what I mentioned is the nymph of the cockroach that I had. They even eat other small spiders. They can eat small mice. The larger scorpions can eat mice.
Have you been bitten before?
Yes, for my decade of experience, I've been multiply been stung by all these scorpions.
Wow.
Especially my experience in Singapore, and
What's-
the worst case that happened to me is I had to. I was hosting, and just to show that the show must go on, I had to bear with that sting for about 8 hours before I had to go to the hospital. Actually, after 8 hours, I still had to eat steamboat. After eating steamboat, I felt that something is not good on my hand, and I
Oh,
had to
no.
go to SGH. That's the worst thing that happened to me.
Oh no. What happened? That did it swell or?
Actually, it had a very different effect on me. My hand was swelling, and I was vomiting after I eat.
Oh
So,
no. That's serious.
so I was actually presenting because I was holding 3 scorpions at a time. On my peak period, I was not so scared. I was putting scorpions on my shoulder. I was putting scorpions on my hand, both hands, and I'm putting one on my shoulder. So when I interact with the students, I was just like this and this. Then one of the scorpion, a juvenile one, suddenly pinch me. Pinching is no issue, but once they start to pinch you, after that is a sting.
Hmm.
So when I felt the sting, when I felt the pinch, I felt the sting afterwards, and I was seeing the scorpion stinging on the between my fingers, and it was so deep that the the tip of its sting was actually cut. So which means part of that sting was left on my hand. So I have to take a tweezer after the whole sting. So
Oh my
just
god.
Did you
And
not flinch at all?
no, I wouldn't have to because it's a hosting. So if you show that, it's a more of like dangerous things to do. But if you try to show them, oh, it's dangerous, they won't be actually.
Yeah, because all the kids are in front of you, right?
So you have to between then it's actually more of you have to learn. To,
I think I'll scream like a little girl.
And then all the kids will freak out.
Yeah, I'll be like, hold it for
everyone
me,
will
hold it
start
for me.
screaming. Everyone will start screaming, and then chaotic.
Yeah.
And then everyone try to run
the
away.
wow factor
Oh my God.
for these scorpions when you handle is that when people seeing you that they are stinging you, right?
You,
So when they
if
are
you're holding them, man, will they sting you now?
the scorpions, they are not afraid. They won't stay unless you touch their body. But when they're just
Oh.
crawling onto your hand, it's just another platform for them to actually just crawl.
Right. So don't touch the body. Stefan, if let's say this thing pass to you, would you dare to touch? To
I
hold?
will dare to touch, but if it sting me, I'll scream. And then maybe you'll sting me even more.
You need to
That's
stay calm.
one thing that I don't want you actually do when you try to flinch and you try to force them out of your hand.
Mm.
This the more harder they will pinch and the more longer they will sting. So when I feel that they are stinging me, right, or they're pinching me, I will just relax. I'm just making sure that you're safe. You're not gonna be harmed. Then they will let go. Same
So
thing.
you are the scorpion whisperer.
Yes. In my previous company, they always say that I'm the scorpion guy.
Wow.
Okay, let me show you the other animals that I have. I have here.
There's more.
There's more. I'm
There's more, Stefan. Yay, yay, yay. What else?
Wow.
Sadly, I don't have the butterflies right now and the pupa. I actually had to take care of some butterflies and pupa, and I'm able to breed them in my home country. But it's more on how the environment now is different. So I wish not to take some of them here. Okay, let me introduce to you to my little fella. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah.
Is that a husk?
Yes, it's a husk. Okay, can you see this? This is actually a lats. It's another type of cockroach. But
Let's.
lats. We call it lats. But that's not the one I'm gonna introduce to you. I'm gonna introduce to you is this little guy.
Beetle. Is it a
Yeah.
beetle?
This is a stag beetle. So this beetle is actually one of the safest, I would say, and one of the easiest insect that I can take care of. Because this beetle can live for about 5 years to 10 years, and they only like to eat
What's
Yeah.
that?
jelly.
It's jelly. They like to eat sweet stuff.
Yes, jelly. You can feed them any type of jelly. Jelly from, but this jelly is actually from Japan, and it's actually a beetle nutrient stuff.
That's
So
interesting. Doesn't that mean that, okay, what about before human beings started rearing them? What did they eat?
they actually feed on you know those liquid stuff coming out from a tree, those
Oh,
white,
the tree sap.
the sap, and they actually feed on the nutrients from the soil. They are considered one of the forest floor dwellers, so they are actually staying on the forest floor most of the time. And you can see this mandibles here. So it's like a trap. So when you try to put your finger here, and if they decided to close, it's very painful. So especially when you see a bigger one of this beetle, right, it can easily pinch you hard. So it's another way of protection to them. And on the legs itself, you will actually see the hooks on their legs, on each 6 legs. These hooks are actually used to climb over trees because these beetles they live on top of the trees most of the time, and they only go down when it's on feeding time. Best thing about this beetle is like this is considered a flying tank. So because behind this beetle's back there's another pair of wings. They can
Oh,
Yes, they can use this to actually fly from one place to another, but not on a long term.
wow. So they are like commandos
Yes.
in
and
trees.
And these beetles, right, before they develop to become this beetle, their life cycle is long. So they can, from an egg, from a caterpillar to a cocoon and to a beetle, it takes about 2 to 3 years
Wow,
before
that's a really long time.
before they become this. And they only live for about certain months. Mostly, the least time is from 6 months to 5 years. It depends on how you take care of if it's a domestic insect.
And how young is this one?
This one, considerably from its starting from egg to until now, is about 3.5 years.
3.5 years. Wow.
And let me show you guys the stage of a beetle. when they actually on the caterpillar stage. And this is very unusual to see because you only will find these caterpillars underground. And it gives us the opportunity now to actually show you one of its developing stage. Okay, let me just put it down. Okay, little fella, will go here. This is actually a caterpillar of a beetle. Can you all see it? It's actually at the corner. It's moving. It's moving.
Oh, cool.
Okay, sorry to disturb you, Mr. Caterpillar. Okay, this one is the most easiest animal that I have here to take care because they will just stay on this soil. This is actually potting soil. Uh, they feed on the nutrients itself, and what I just need to do is to make it damp. And
Oh,
for
okay.
2 years, they will just stay here
So
until
they eat the soil or they just absorb the
the
nutrients?
nutrients because there's actually nutrients. Can you see it?
Oh, wow. So this becomes the beetle.
Yeah. What's good about this, right? When I had this little guy, right, it's actually half of its body. Now it's like twice the size, and
And
and it's gonna be a big beetle soon. This is actually a species of a big stag beetle.
there is
So
different species of the same.
yes, there's different from their scientific names, from their environment where they are actually from. They can grow as big as your hand. It depends on the species of the beetle.
Mm-mm.
Japanese in Japan, there's a lot of this, and it's actually being famous as a pet. And a lot of people in Japan are taking care of this.
And you said like they are underground most
Yes,
of the time?
most of the time, yes. They just feed on
Oh.
nutrients. They are the ones that cultivates the soil of the rainforests.
Mm.
Ooh. Can you all see it, right?
Wow, that's so interesting. That's such an interesting hobby. I think this is the most interesting hobby I have yet to see on this show. Are
Okay.
you sure you don't want to give them names? It's a good idea.
This guy,
How to
the,
give name to this caterpillar?
Tommy is a good name.
the
Oh
smallest
my
one,
god.
those the ones that
You don't call any insect Diana, okay, please?
the next time we will see. Definitely,
Hey,
there's
can you imagine every morning he say,
But
hi
you'll be
Diana,
happy if
hi
he calls a beautiful
Diana.
butterfly Diana, right?
Diana
That
should
one
be a
not bad.
butterfly.
Butterfly, okay.
Butterfly. Okay, another one that I have is I'm more fond of scorpions and spiders. Actually, I have 3 spiders, 2 small, 1 big.
Spiders.
Yes, and
These are all his toys, Stephen. No, his
Yeah.
pet, his pet.
yeah, my pets. Okay, I think I have not shown you the smallest spider that I have. This one is a poisonous one. So the initial big spiders that I'm gonna show you is actually, can you see it? It burrows under on the upper. Can you see it?
Oh, I see it.
It's actually burrowing
It's
on.
like a tarantula.
It's a tarantula actually. It's a poisonous one. Uh,
Wow.
this is actually golden knee, Chaco golden knee. It's considered one of the. They say it's the safest tarantulas to take care and hold. But they have a bigger fangs. They have a fang of similar to a snake, and once they have a hold of their food, right, they can easily eat it without using their poison and by using their tails. Let me just show you the adult ones. This is a small one. And when I was a kid, I'm fond of handling some smaller spiders. Okay, I don't know whether you can see this spider. Can you see the spider dangling there?
Yes.
This little fella here. Yeah. So that is actually a spider that is found on the rainforest. When I was a kid, I'm using this to let them fight to each other. So it's
Fighting
actually,
spiders?
yes, fighting spiders. There is actually this culture in Philippines when you actually are when you're in a province or in a forested area. Once you see spiders, you actually fight with your other friends. So they have their own spiders as well, and
Oh.
they use this to fight. Let them fight to each other. So it's like a more of a pastime in the Philippines when you're a kid.
How do you force them to fight though? What if they are like friends?
Spiders are territorial. So if they see other spiders, right, they will just try to eat it.
Oh, okay, okay. Within the vicinity, they will fight.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
see.
let
Do
me
you
just
have any more to show us?
yes, this will be the last one, and this is actually the largest. I don't know if you can see it.
I sort of make out the furry thing, right? Oh, doesn't want to be disturbed.
Yes. This is actually the Chaco spicy,
Charcoal spider.
the largest. You see,
Yeah.
this is the Chaco goldeni, and it's actually one of the largest that I have, and it's actually the size of my palm.
Wow.
My God.
The question in my
My
head
God.
is, does your wife allow this?
He actually met me in the place of work, so he knows
Oh,
my passion.
okay.
So when I told her that I had to,
If you love me, you have to love them.
didn't come to the point that you have to choose, but it's actually more of a passion for my side,
Mm,
and we respect each other's interests. So in a
mm.
way, when I told her that I had to take care, and she just told me that make sure it doesn't fall to the hands of our son. Yeah. So because my kid is very very agile now, very very naughty also. Everything you wanna touch, everything wanna go to daddy. When you see daddy, daddy is holding. Daddy wanna touch. He also wanna touch. So
Will
that
you allow your son to play with the spiders?
Uh, in future, probably when he is able to fully understand the risks and definitely if it's his passion to actually know more of these insects and animals, I would love to because
Ah,
this is a passion and this is an interest that not more people would love to. And for me, it's like when you're able to take care and handle this kind of animals, you're unique. You're able to be something different.
I can
So
totally imagine you telling your son, when you grow up, you get to handle the spider. I
it's
think when you're 30. No, maybe 31.
inheritance, right? Like you're gonna inherit this to me.
Yeah, it's probably precious to you.
In economic side, taking care of small scorpions, spiders, beetles, tarantulas, it actually gives you another source of income. In lighter side, people from those countries that have not seen these animals and they are actually interest of having a pet, they are interested of buying this. So, but there's definitely some restrictions on the documentations. But people would spend money in taking care of this animal. In Philippines, locally, it's very cheap. But if you're gonna bring this to let's say Europe, America, it can
Mm,
cost about 100 times of its value. So
wow.
plus shipping. So this tarantula that I have here, this golden knee, it costs me about let's say $100 Singapore. And once it actually reach other countries, it can be at most about $500 to $600. So
Wow.
more plus the shipping. So it's actually more than what it costs.
But when you ship these spiders, you have to put 1 month's supply of food inside the cage.
The best thing about these spiders, they can just not eat for a month.
Whoa. Okay, okay.
That's why it's
No,
very
a month, I think I will die.
No, Diana, 3 days.
Yeah, I think one day can already. Then how they store their food? Is it because they still store their food? That's why they can last for 1 month not
as long
eating.
as you put them a moisture where they can actually drink, and yeah, there they can
Oh,
survive. The
right.
thing about these spiders is when I take care of them, they're not very difficult to maintain. So there's a times that I would forget because I'm very busy as well. When I forget to feed them, then the next day, 2 days, 3 days, they're still there, actively roaming their containers.
Nice. Your special hobby.
Yes.
At this point in time, usually I'll ask like what other things you're interested in, but like this is like so cool already.
Yeah, it's so cool already.
This is so out of this world.
Actually, a
Yeah.
good question because I'm a guy that loves to do other things except for this. Because for me, it's a personal thing.
Mm.
There's other things that I love to do.
What are
especially-
your other things other than tour guide and insect collecting?
I love to explore food. I'm a food guy as well. So
Oh, really?
I like to reinvent food that is very unique. I like to try things that is very unusual. So mixing things like, for example, cheese mixing with milk, mixing with chili, something like this. So something unique that people
Oh.
wouldn't want.
Stefan, we go Manila, find him and try all his food. His new
First,
creation. If you don't,
Yes.
if you are not afraid, then you get like stomach ache or what. Then we can try.
I'm not afraid.
I'm
I
gonna
always
let you
try new things.
balut. You know balut?
Balut? No, wait.
Have you eaten
no,
balut
wait.
before, Diana?
No, never, never.
I have never also, but I think I will try. But I usually when I do that such stuff, I regret lah. I'm not scared, but I'll regret.
At least you have tried it, right? At least once in your life.
Yeah, I think we must if we go all the way to Manila, Diana, we must try lah.
I can pass you my share. And you can try for me.
There
There's
is different variations, right? There is like the easier ones and then the almost fully grown one.
Or maybe
Mm,
have you tried guys eating pork skin?
pork
skin?
skin. That one okay lah.
Yes.
Singapore a lot lah.
I mean the fried pork skin, not the cracker, the very hard one, like fried pork skin.
Yeah, it's very expensive, right?
In Philippines, it's actually cheap.
Oh,
Lucky Plaza. Try to go Lucky Plaza, and you try to tell them find this chicharron.
chicharron. Singaporean friends, Lucky Plaza, chicharron.
Chicharron.
And it's-
CHICHARON. Can try.
And make sure you mix it with what do you call it? Vinegar with chili or a paste, up to you. But it's best with the vinegar.
Jason's recommendation.
Craving right now with chicharron.
Later you can go buy. I think easy to find in Manila, right?
Yes, there's some places. Some areas that is cheap, but once it reach Manila, it's actually very costly. Luckily now today after this, I'm actually driving to one of the province because I'm exploring some stuff, so I can buy chicharron also.
Yeah. Nice.
What
I
is
like
your-
to stay a country like yours, very big, can venture here and there. Like Stefan, Singapore is so small. Next to me is probably Paya Lebar.
Yeah.
Toa Payoh. But they can go state to state, Wow, so nice.
Yeah, it's really something that Singaporeans don't get to experience.
Enjoy, huh?
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, I hear my Australian friends, Malaysian friends, just like driving around for days.
Yes.
And yeah, I think that is something that's robbed of the youth of Singapore.
Never mind. That's why we need to venture out from Singapore.
There's always a positive side when you're staying on your country, and when people that stays on my country, they want to explore because they have explored this area, so they want to go to
Mm.
other places. I mean, it's actually, I would say, the hunger of a human being to actually explore and learn. That's what people would actually want to fill in, like a host. You want to actually feel this hunger for
Yeah.
information. Mind of a human being is actually will not be satisfied. It should
Mm.
always be learning to be updated and be active. Because once you stop learning, you're gonna be staying on one place, and you call them stagnant, being stagnant.
Mm. I think I meet many people whereby they might be really successful managers or even like company owners, and then when they finish, when they retire, their spirit journey will be to travel, to travel and to do things that they love. I think I agree with you totally. I think human beings, we are always we always have this innate need to go out. In fact, this COVID has really like made me traumatized me a whole lot. I really need to travel right now
Right.
and go out. By the way, if you're watching this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Um, Jason's links will be below. You can check him out, more details about him, and even book him for some interesting tours. All right, Jason, another question for you. What is your funniest memory on tour? I know you do a lot with kids, right? So there has to be some from the smile on your face, I know you are laughing to yourself already. What is the funniest moment on tour that you ever had?
Funniest is that okay, this might be a cringe.
Oh, we
uh,
love a cringe.
yeah, one of my I would say a very common customer is like actually a kid, and she always go to her with her mom and her maid, and she has a very small brother, and this brother, right, he knows me the moment he would step into this place, and he say, uh at first he always say, "Hi, Uncle Jason." The next few visits that they did, they would always call me, "Hi, Daddy Jason."
Oh,
Daddy Jason. Then they would always bring their mom, right? The mom. They always say, "Hi, Daddy Jason. This is my mommy." So something like that. So it's a bit cringy, but it's memorable for me because these kids would always remember me as the person that is, I would say, it's like a father figure for them. So
mm,
because when they always come to this place, I'm the one who actually brings them around and
so
never
they are repeat visitors.
repeat visitors. So
Wow.
it's actually a very comforting sign for me because I would always spend about 5 hours when they come to the park. They would always spend about almost 5 hours. I would tour
Mm,
them for about an hour or two. Then after that, I would see them still roaming around even though the tour is finished. So some
mm.
interest that they will never fade for the memories that I had in my previous experience in Singapore. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Any other funny stuff that happened before?
Yes, a lot. Birds flying when I was guiding. Suddenly, there's a poop on your head. It
Oh
would,
no,
yeah, it would just drop on you.
need to buy lottery after that.
Yeah, I would always,
Buy
I
lottery.
would
Oh my
always
god.
say to my groups, okay, now you see a poop on my head. Get a four-digit number. Buy buy a four-digit number.
But
So
they say poop is a good luck.
yes, yes.
Yeah, it's good luck.
So some cases, children crying because tummy ache, have to go.
Yeah, you have a kid, right, Jason? How
A
old is
a
he?
lot of funniest experience. I think I've experienced the most. I'm the happiest when I had on this experience before, before the pandemic, because tour hosting is actually one of the best things that would happen to for me as a guide, and you're able to get the interactions, the reactions, the interaction, the reactions, and the reply from your customers and from your
I,
guests.
I can literally feel like the joy oozing out from you and the shine from your face when you're talking about this right now. I can feel your passion.
I would say I missed it, but we have to face the new normal,
Yeah.
and people will get through to this, and sooner or later, people will have to experience this once again. It's just like when I say we're on the stage where we have to uh, rest first. The world needs to rest first because when human beings are outside, Earth is not resting. So people need to
Mm.
rest.
Yeah, yeah. True.
Exactly. Now, maybe the last question for you might be, what are your hopes for the future? Where do you see yourself in 5 years or 10 years, or even like just the general state of the world? Like, what are your hopes?
My hopes is that this pandemic would end, and my hopes and my future me hoping that I can still be able to give impact and learn, teach, and able to make some effect from the knowledge and interest of children, non-children or adults as well. So, like what I've said, knowledge is for some those who knew already, they will just pass on. But for those who have not yet learned this kind of stuff, it's a new thing for them. So at least you're gonna be the stepping stone for this persons in the future. So my
Mm.
future me, I want my future me to still be able to give some interest to other person, give learning, and yeah, I'm hoping that everyone can already go out after this.
Excellent. Okay. Well, today's Know Your Guide is really awesome. We are like, I Diana, do you just like keep inviting more and more amazing people? Like it's like escalation of sorts.
Yeah. Oh, God, something. Don't play.
Yeah. Usually at this point, right? By the way, I want to appreciate you, Jason, for being here because like this whole show started because we want to know more about the guide themselves. Because usually on a tour, we just ask about the location, what is interesting there, but we don't really get time to talk and know the person, know the tour guide as a person. So I think these series are really interesting for many people, especially for those people who have toured with you from Singapore before. They'll say, "Oh, this is a Jason, or this is a Daddy Jason." I think it's very, very, very. It'll be very valuable.
Yeah.
Usually at this point, I'll do something interesting. Like the last two sessions, we did some magic and some tricks. But today, I just like to play with you, scissors, paper, stone.
Okay.
Did you know that different places play, even though scissors, paper, stone is all over the world, do you know that scissors, paper, stone actually is sequenced in a different ways? So I give you an example. In the States, right, they actually say rock, paper, scissors, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. In Singapore, they say scissors, paper, stone.
Uh-huh.
Okay. In China, they say paper. I know they start with paper. I don't know the other two, but I know they start with papers, either paper, scissors, rock, or paper, rock, scissors, right?
Okay.
What about Philippines?
In Philippines, we just say stone.
Stone.
We say bato, bato, pick. So bato,
Oh, bato, pick. Yes, yes.
bato,
Correct.
bato, pick. It's like stone, stone, stone. Then you pick paper.
And because of all this complexity, right, it makes it very difficult for me to win someone who's overseas.
Oh, really?
Because
Ah.
there's actually a strategy to win scissors, paper, stone. Yeah, so today I will try not to fail.
Okay, jayo.
So like in the States, how do you
Empate.
play this? Usually people, right, play in America they play with their hands, right? In Singapore we don't have the hands.
Oh,
So does bato pick have the hands?
we just move a gesture. For example,
Okay. All right.
paper, stone, scissor, paper, stone. Yeah.
Wait. We not got anything to know what away. Between three of us, is it?
Yes.
Or between the two of you?
You want to play, Diana?
I always lose one. If the viewer don't mind seeing me losing all the way lah. Maybe it's a fun way. Okay, let's try.
Okay, so maybe I'll be the empire lah. I'll be the empire.
Empire.
Diana versus Jason.
Oh,
Welcome to the World Championships.
How can I? Okay, can.
Welcome
Okay,
to the World Championships of rock, paper, scissors. On the left, we have Diana from Singapore.
Yay! Hello.
On the right, we have Jason from the Philippines.
Hello.
All right, if you're ready, please put your hands out like this. Okay, so I'll say okay. So it's rock, paper, scissors. Then you're
Okay.
reveal. Okay, ready? 1, 2. Rock, paper, scissors.
Aiyah, you see? First one only.
Okay, again, ready? Rock, paper, scissors.
You see? Hey, I really can predict.
Okay, first to three. First to three.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors.
You see? Oh my god. I can actually predict my own. Okay. I lose. So sad.
Well done, Diana.
Thank you. Hey, you're right. We cannot win foreigner when you play this.
It's very interesting to me because depending on the sequence, you will
Uh-huh.
either get an upper hand or the shorter end of the stick.
Okay, can. So now your turn, Stefan.
Should I play? Okay, let's play.
Lose,
All right, ready? Okay, ready? Rock, paper, scissors.
You lose. Okay.
Very good. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors.
Hey, you win. Oh, Stefan, you break the rules. You're supposed to lose.
One more. Rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, you lose again.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, okay, you definitely
Well done.
Okay, well done. So you are Empire. Don't think so.
That was pretty fun. It's a very interesting thing. I only just realized that actually all around the world they have different sequence of different sequence of rock, paper, scissors, and I was thinking to myself, wow, is the Philippines rock, paper, scissors more superior than the Singapore one? Today we have the answer.
Yes. You got the answer.
All right. Thank you all for watching this episode of Know Your Guide. Remember to like and subscribe. Below there will be links for you to check out. We will be interviewing and talking to more guides. So remember to come back here to watch more videos. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next Know Your Guide.
Guide.